news. All right, let's check in with Crystal Haynes. She's at Boston Police Headquarters tonight. And Crystal, there was a moment there, I understand, as well, where the officers actually got down on the knees with the protesters as they became one unit in trying to advance this cause. And, you know, you were out there today walking with those protesters today and talking with some of them, and you really, you know, could feel the passion with which they were trying to move this along in a positive direction.
That's exactly right, you know, it was peaceful, but it was also extremely powerful. Folks really wanted to lift up their voices and make sure, like Dan Linsky said, their message was not hijacked. You know, the organizers of this event, Violence in Boston, Monica Cannon Grant, and Black Lives Matter Boston, they made sure there was PPE on site. They made sure there was water on site, hand sanitizer. They had a four-piece string quartet there playing music. They had young people, older folks, you know, 3 generations of people involved in the civil rights movement, all there to uplift this message. And really, it was so powerful, we just wanted to let the tape roll, so take a listen.
Racist cops have got to go!
Sparked by the murder of George Floyd, but sustained by years of racial violence and police brutality, thousands rallied in Franklin Park Tuesday calling for law enforcement reform. The vigil and die-in was organized by Monica Cannon Grant of Violence in Boston and also Black Lives Matter.
We had our own security, we had medics, we had hand sanitizer, PPE, we had marshals, we had healing space, and we made sure that we enforced the message that you don't get to tear up black and brown businesses. I don't care what happens downtown, but we got to live here.
Black Lives Matter!
We have a policing problem in this country. We need to think critically about the culture of policing.
So while I'm still breathing in this existence, I'm going to breathe for all the black lives, all the bodies that have been killed due to racist structural systems that have been taking advantage of our people. So I will breathe for them.
Some of y'all don't understand that Black Lives Matter and Black Lives have always mattered.
When I have to go out and keep my hands in certain places so the police might not shoot me, what justice? When I walk into a park and a white woman might call the police on me and I might die, what justice?
I feel like it's our time. It's our time. All these people came out for this cause. It's our time to show them, really to open their eyes. It's our time.
This is love, this is community, and this is exactly what we want to see in our city. And this is the best of our city of Boston.
Now it's time to fight. We got work to do.
And you know what? Former Boston City Councilor there, Tito Jackson, actually was outside of the Boston Police Headquarters here, telling that the folks gathered that they need to vote, that they need to mobilize toward action in that way rather than destroy their own communities. And it was a powerful message from him as well. Ak and Vanessa.
Yeah, and Crystal, during your live report at 6 o'clock, I remember you talked to a preacher, and he said something that I thought was really profound. He said people are crying for justice. They're engaging in conversations that are necessary right now for this world to heal, and that's why they were out there tonight.
That's absolutely right, Vanessa. And as you heard Monica Cannon Grant say there, now it's time to fight. Now it's time to get things done. And there are 3 pieces of legislation that they are calling to be passed and want support for. And those include the Eric Garner law, and that prevents the use of chokeholds while folks are in police custody. The Stephon Clark law that limits the use of deadly force, and the Andrew Curse Act, and that mandates medical care for folks who are in custody. I should also mention that Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley and others have also introduced a resolution, a House resolution against police brutality. And the message here is to support all of those efforts, get those bills passed, and make sure that America moves toward parity, toward equality, and towards justice here.
We certainly want to see people move towards that, and I know there are so many. There's such a great majority does. And Krista, I'm just going to ask you personally, as a woman of color, what it's like to see these protests, because you can stand shoulder to shoulder with people who may be, you know, white, they may be Hispanic, Latino, they may be Asian. Everybody wants the same thing, it seems, but we get to a point in the night at some of these, not all, where it devolves because of an element, and that just has to be so frustrating. That's the one word I can think of when I look at this. For law enforcement, for everyone involved who wants to see a better outcome, you got to be super frustrated here.
Well, I think I'm torn because I understand the anger. I understand the need to be violent because all of us, people of color and others who feel the oppression of racism are angry, and they have been angry for a very long time. But I also understand the need for action, and I think that's where I hope this passion moves toward purpose. I hope it moves toward change, and I'm very encouraged by the conversations that we are having, the thoughtful language we are using on our newscasts. All of these things are so important right now, and we need to seize this moment and create change.
Crystal, well said, and we appreciate your reporting today. It was just a tremendous sight to see you out there among the amount of people that were just walking there and marking down Franklin Park and trying to advance a cause. It was something to see, I gotta say. Thank you.
Crystal, thank you so much. Always so insightful. We do have some new video coming into our newsroom.